This week I've been in Derbyshire and I managed to get out to do a little bit of riding in the Peak District and explore for myself some of the legendarily brutal climbs that I've only read about. And this is one of them, Winnett's Pass, which is just over a mile at an average gradient of 11%. I think it goes up to over 20 because I'm not ashamed to say that I had to grind this one out, because this entire ride I just felt, it's one of those rides where your heart rate feels so unpredictable. It feels so skittish. So I'm turning around right now because I saw those three cyclists heading towards Winnett's Pass. I had just come down it because I was kind of exploring and I didn't actually know where Winnett's Pass was. Came over the top, came down Winnett's Pass, and then saw those. I was going to go back to the car and get my stabilization gimbal cam and take that up Winnett's Pass, but instead I saw those three guys and I thought, this is going to make for a much more interesting effort if I've got some competition or some people to ride with. So I thought I'd head back and chase them. So we're chasing those three guys right now, but unfortunately I think, yeah, they were stood by, like, I don't know, it was either a team car or like some car that was on a holiday, you know, like a cycling holiday, or the organisation, whoever was running the cycling holiday, they were stopped by it at the foot of Winnett's Pass. So they had stopped, and I just thought, I'm gonna keep going. I'm just gonna keep going. Let's not stop now, because as soon as I start to stop, then, you know, we're just not going to keep going. It's not the right attitude. So yeah, these guys are stopped by the side of the road. They look back at me. They've definitely seen me, and I think that is when they start to chase me. So this is the foot of Winnett's Pass. We're just about to go up. Yeah, this was one of those rides where my heart rate just felt so unpredictable. As soon as I started to push my body through an effort, my mind might be in the right place, but my heart rate would just skyrocket to its max and stay there until I stopped. No matter what I was doing, it just wouldn't react in the way that it normally should. And it's just one of those, it's usually to do with either you haven't recovered well, or you're on too much caffeine, or there's something that isn't right, obviously. And you know, you shouldn't try and push your body through something like that. I should have just really used this ride, which I kind of did, as just like an exploration ride and not try and push myself through Winnett's Pass. But I'm glad I did, because, you know, these things always teach you lessons, and the situation was the situation, and it was all about how I was going to deal with it. Yeah, so I hadn't really come prepared on fresh legs with the gearing that would have been ideal. And, you know, my heart rate was unpredictable all over the place. You know, I shouldn't really be here right now is what my mind is telling me. But, you know, the way you react to the situation is far more important to anything else that's going on in the moment. And in this moment, I didn't care about the watts, no longer cared about the cadence, no longer cared about anything else that was going on around me. It was all about just getting to the top. Moment after moment, just being present and pushing myself that bit further, edging myself further up this climb, winding myself up it with an imaginary winch attached to the front of my bike, and I was slowly winding myself in all the way to the top. Nothing else mattered. That was it. when you've run out of gears up a climb like this, it can really feel like the time to head back. Like, you know, what are you going to do? You've been boxed into a corner, and really that is the time that, you know, you get to prove what you're made of. When you're grinding it out, when you're not able to control the cadence, when you're not able to pace yourself, that is when you're put into a box. And it's going to be, this climb really shows you what you're made of. So not that I'm saying that you come on a fixed gear and try and attack it with that, but you know, I was dealt these cards. You know, I'd put myself in this situation, and it was how I was gonna deal with it. What was the story gonna be at the end of this? Is it that I stopped and I turned back and I try and forget about it, or is it gonna be another climb that I can be proud that I conquered, and then I can always come back to it next time and do things much differently? Which I would. You know, next time I could definitely see that on a day when my heart rate is predictable, you know, I'm well recovered, I'm on fresh legs, I could have the same gearing that I had right now, and I wouldn't touch 80 reps per minute. I'd be 400 watts all the way to the top, and that would be that. That would be that, and that is the story of next time. I'm definitely going to come back to these climbs. I really enjoyed my brief time here in Derbyshire. And I've treated it like a recce. You know, I've explored some of the places. I know where they are now. I know where the segments finish, because when I was going up this Winner's Pass, I didn't know where the segment ended, and I stopped too early across what I thought would have been the finish line, but it wasn't. So next time I'm going to come back much better prepared, and we're going to attack it. But this was a great taster, and I cannot wait to come back. But the next stop is across the pond. We're flying to the US to do with our bike, and there's going to be a lot of content coming out in the next few weeks, so stay tuned for that and enjoy the rest of this climb. Oh yeah, this proves how steep this climb is. I managed to pass the car that had broken down. I beat a car. The car didn't have as much will as I did to make it to the top, and so it had to be rescued. I didn't need to be rescued, so I can be proud of that. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you across the pond. California, baby. California.